Are we live?
Yeah, I think so. Hey, hi everyone. Can you see us? Hi. So this is Stephen. I'm Harshit, and we are starting the AMA over here with Stephen, who is the head of product management at UnternehmerTUM, and also leading the head of product management at DPS. And Stephen said that it would be better that I also be the part of this AMA session and moderate this so that we could have a better way to interact with all the flow people and flow community over here. So hi everyone, and if you could see us, just say hello with a name and where are you from, and we will be able to help you with all the questions related to DPS, product management, or anything in between and beyond. And maybe Stefan could take over and introduce himself and what he does and some of his background or anything that he excels in. We know he is a Superman, but yeah, but beyond that, we can know further about him and all the things that we can move ahead further ahead
Yeah.
with this.
We always refer to the product manager being the Superman of the team because he needs to enable the team, or she needs to enable the team to do awesome stuff. So, yeah, hello everyone. I see some already joining and waving. Hello. Yeah, just a quick introduction. Why I think Harshit invited me to do this. So I started with digital product development almost 20 years ago when I joined Amazon here, first in Seattle and then later here in Munich. Back then they had only 200, yeah, not even 200 employees here in Munich. Now it's 2,500, I think. But I began my career as a trained journalist, so working for a newspaper. And from there, I somehow slipped through online journalism into product development. I got an internship at Amazon for 6 months in Seattle. And then, yeah, it was 1999, and I thought, okay, that internet thing that is could be quite big, and I never returned to my old job. So
yeah, I think it's very interesting, right? That you told that you joined Amazon at 1999, and that was just the starting of the internet, or maybe people believing in the power of internet at that moment of time, where just at the starting of the internet era. So what strike you at that moment of time that building a career in internet or internet will be the one of the revolution of the era?
It wasn't so much me thinking about I really need to build a career upon this. It was more like the experience of ordering a book through the internet and then getting it made me aware that journalism needs to change. So when I returned from Seattle, I proposed to our publisher that we need to build up an online editorial office and a website and stuff like this. So, and eventually they did, and I was part of it. And then the call from Amazon Munich came in 2000, and I moved here. So it was not me thinking, okay, I have to have a career, an online career. It was more like, okay, products and, yeah, creating something that adds value to people's lives. And I felt back then that the internet, yeah, would be a cool foundation to make it an easy job to provide value to people's lives. That's how I ended up.
I think that's very interesting, as well as you started your career with journalism, like you followed it. I think you don't have any background in terms of academics, or you doing your education in journalism maybe, but you followed it in practice in a profession, right? When you started with it.
Yeah, so I never saw myself as being a teacher even, yeah, or a mentor or a coach. This is something I grew into it. I don't know if you heard about the term imposter syndrome. Yeah, so over the years you build up experience yourself, you don't notice, and you start wondering, okay, why are all these people coming up to me asking me what to do? I'm just an employee as them, but eventually you realize, okay, somehow I have some experience to share. And this is what we all do here at DPS from the core team. So none of us is a teacher or anything. So we all are experienced people in their field, and we have done some things the right way. Lots of things we failed miserably, and we learned, and we want to share our learnings. And so that's what DPS is about.
That's interesting. And also, I think like a lot of people have joined in. Ishank, Shivi, maybe like, Steffen, they're excited about you joining. So you can say hello to them.
Hello.
Ishank, Shivi, Nikita, Anirudh, Pratik.
Anyone from former batches there?
Yeah, not yet. Anirudh says, thanks for organizing it. Thanks, Anirudh, for joining us. Alish, Anisha, Tejas, thanks for joining us. And maybe whatever questions you have, you can write in the comment, and Steffen would be the best person to answer it, be it related to design. He's the best person in design, I know. User experience, product management. To repeat, like Steffen has been his background in journalism, but he started his online career in Amazon as a product manager, and then a lot of internet startups at scale, delivering to or building products at scale, reaching out to people in millions and delivering services around that, right?
Yeah.
So you started at journalism. Like if you have to identify like your passion, like if I have to build a career in product management, and at this stage I'm someone who has background in arts or something like culture studies or journalism, and I have to be someone who is leading teams or building products for Gute Frage, which has like a core of Germany, like delivering to millions of people, or Amazon. If I have to reach or build like a career like Steffen, how should I proceed? What steps should I follow to be a good product manager?
It's a difficult one. To me, it was like being at the right place at the right time. So I don't know. So when Amazon started in Germany, they hardly had any people here to work with. So that's when I slipped in. Maybe I'm not the best advisor on this because I never consciously designed my career. Maybe that's a good advice. So keep doing what you love to do. Otherwise you will not be a happy person. So you have to get up in the morning and really be looking forward to your job. And then if you feel like the job you're currently doing doesn't do that anymore for you, then maybe you should change. And that's what I did. I felt, okay, I'm wrong here at the newspaper. I need to do something with the internet. And I took the opportunity that arose. So maybe that's an advice. Not designing your career, but follow your heart, basically.
Yeah, I think like follow your heart, or maybe like, if something is going wrong, how do you identify if something is going wrong or right? Means you observe that this is not going the right way for me in journalism. What are the key emotion state or key characteristics, right? The user journey we talk about in product management. And what is the key things that you figure out when you see that?
Yeah, again, hard to put your finger on certain things. So when I started as a journalist and started working as an editor, I really was convinced, okay, I have so much fun in this, I want to do this for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And then I got the opportunity for that internship at Amazon in Seattle, and then I somehow felt, okay, this isn't doing it anymore for me. So I switched to online product management. So it's not exactly a key moment. Yeah, I mean, there were drawbacks when I quit at Amazon because it wasn't. I felt I didn't learn anymore there. I went to another employer, and they were much more conventional. And I remember the first 3 weeks being not the best I had in my professional career, because I somehow was questioning the decision, because it really felt so old school and not really modern, but they were willing to change, and so that was the reason why they asked me to join. So and they gave me the room to change things, and after 3 weeks I realized that the colleagues are as cool as my colleagues at Amazon were. So I didn't regret the choice, but I had my doubts in the beginning. So maybe an advice here would be, okay, don't jump off the wagon just the first doubts appear. So give the new job a chance for a couple of weeks and then see if it works out. But be aware or be cautious that you're not feeling miserable all the time. So if it doesn't change, then you should definitely look for the next step or take a step back.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think we have some questions coming in. Prateek.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we
Hi,
can
Prateek.
start. Yeah, Steffen, you can start with that.
What's the question?
Prateek says, thanks for organizing it. Thanks to you, Prateek, for joining us. Your question is, he's a final year undergrad student. Can he apply for digital product school?
Sure. So our program is aimed for graduates and soon-to-be graduates. So if you're at the end of your studies and you want to gain some experience, some first working experience, then you are the person we're looking for.
Yeah. So like most of the people who are joining in right now, we can have a quick what the program is about. What is DPS? What is Digital Product School in a nutshell by Steffen?
Yeah. So maybe it helps when I explain how the whole program was created.
For sure.
Here in Germany, the whole the so-called term digitalization is hot topic right now. So for all the major companies, they are looking for ways to be more flexible, more agile, and to develop new products and new ideas in a more startup-like way. And Thomas Zeller, who is one of the managing directors of UnternehmerTUM, he sat together with his colleagues and people from some German companies like Daimler, BMW, and Audi, who were back then part of the Mobility Hub. And he realized that they have some pain points that could be the perfect match for young talents who lack working experience in a digital cross-functional team to develop digital products. And those pain points were, we want our staff to be more experienced in working agile in a more collaborative way. And that was all the same pain points that graduates had when they leave university. Maybe you had the odd internship, but working self-responsibly on a project from start to finish, you hardly did as a student. So Thomas felt, okay, this program could be something to kickstart those careers of that talents. And on the other hand, gives the corporate organizations the opportunity to educate their staff in this field, and on the other hand, to recruit young talents. And this is when DPS basically was born. So this was pretty unique. Talents here working together with people from companies and developing products.
Yeah, people from companies as well as soon to be graduates or graduates working
exactly
together.
Yeah, or PhDs we had.
So when did you start it? Like it was started last year back, right? And how would you define the success metrics of DPS?
So the idea was born in October 2016. Yeah, and the first batch started in May 2016.
17, I guess, right? No such thing.
So 16, yeah, yes, exactly. So May 2017.
Yeah.
Sorry, and so we are right now. We are in batch 5. We've got 3 batches per year, and I think that's the key metrics for the success of DPS for us is not the number of applicants, although that rises constantly. The most important key metrics for us is the share of recommendations we get. So people who joined the program telling other people, hey, you should really join this. Yeah. So, and we don't optimize our website for gathering as many applications we can. We want the right people to apply, not as many as possible. But still, there's loads. So unfortunately, I have to write rejection letters all the time.
Yeah. So I think there were a couple of people who asked in the prayer comments that they did apply for the batch 3, batch 4, batch 5, but they didn't hear in terms of rejection. What do you want to say about that?
I think this shouldn't be the case. So maybe we can learn what track they were applying for. Everybody who isn't, so there should be nobody hearing nothing from us. So everybody who didn't get accepted should have gotten a rejection letter. And mostly it's down to, okay, we only have a limited number of seats here in the batch, and unfortunately we have to write way too many rejection letters. There's so many talented people there, but we can't accept them all. So if you didn't hear from us, let us know, and I'll try to investigate. But we need to know which track you applied for.
Yeah, I think if you applied for DPS in any of the batches and you couldn't hear until us from now, we will be put our best effort to answer that.
Yeah, maybe for those who didn't have a look at the website yet. So when we're talking about tracks, we mean the roles in our cross-functional team. So every team consists of product managers, interaction designers, software engineers, and AI engineers.
Yeah, so we have 4 tracks.
Exactly.
One is for the product management, the other is interaction design, the third is software engineers, and the fourth is AI.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So we have some more questions coming in. Avinash, hi Avinash, he asked for project management. Collaborating, he asked for project management, but there's a difference between project and product management. I guess so.
Yes.
Collaborating with designers, software developers, and stakeholders to build a valuable, feasible, and usable product. Is it required to have prior experience in design, development, or research?
No, it isn't. So the cool thing is, although he wrote project management, he provided the definition of product management, or one of the definitions. No, you don't need experience. For the product management track, what I'm on the lookout is the passion for creating products. And until now, there is no formal education for product managers. So it's really hard to nail it down to hard skills, whether you are a good product manager or not, other than a software engineer. I mean, obviously, you need to be able to code in order to be a good software engineer. But for a product manager, experience is the key. And that's sort of the dilemma when you want to start as a product manager, because you don't have the experience. And this is why to people who want to become a product manager, DPS is so valuable, because what we are trying to achieve here is to inject that experience, the experience of being a product manager for 1 or 2 years into 3 months. So, and when I do the interviews, I want to sense some passion for products, passion for user centricity. Maybe it's a bonus if I can see from the CV that you already tried to found a startup or something like this, so that your heart basically beats for creating products and solving problems for people. So you don't need experience in design or in research.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as you rightly mentioned, means product management, there's no formal degree or there's no formal program for teaching you product management, even
except for Code University in Berlin. So there you can study product management. So please apply there.
Yeah, I think I met some amazing people from Code.Berlin, and this is one of the next level university that is more on the practice education, experiential education, rather than degree education.
they're running the first generation of students who study, who do their bachelor in product management there at the moment.
Yeah.
So,
Steffen, as my personal experience, like, or in the past, that I wasn't knowing, like, as someone who just graduated from his school, right? I just was the opinion that engineering is one of the career option. I wasn't even knowing about design. Like, I thought it more of a visual or ornamental kind of a profession. But as I discovered more through my experiences, more through talking to people who are working in companies like EDO or wherever, means these professions came up and got settled that these are also the professions that I can take up aligned to my interest option. So, like, what is the, like, if someone, let's say, come across product management for the first time in this group or hearing us, what are the roles and responsibilities of a product management? How can he identify himself or herself that he could be or she could be a product manager, a good product manager in the future? What are those key qualities he or she should have, or skills that they should possess, or what are the knowledge and experience they should have as a product manager? Do you have any words?
Yeah. So if I had to start with one skill, then it would be empathy. So it's important on so many levels. So when you're dealing with the product and dealing with users who are to use your product later, so then empathy helps during user research, helps during testing, helps making decisions what's good for the user. And empathy helps, on the other hand, when you deal with the team. So with your teammates, you need to figure out, okay, what are their concerns? You need to make sure that the team shares the same vision, stuff like this. And a person who lacks empathy, I don't think can be a good product manager. So you should always be able to slip into someone else's shoes and see things from their point of view. So that would be the one. Yeah, and empathy helps also when you deal with stakeholders who need to achieve a certain thing, and that might be even contrary to the user's interest. You're serving as a product manager, so you need to understand, okay, what does the stakeholder need to achieve, and how can you support him? And all this makes it really, really hard if you lack empathy.
So another logical question could empathy be learned?
Empathy?
You can learn. Can you develop empathy in yourself?
Yes.
How?
Okay, so here's a bonus lesson from DPS here for all the people who joined. So empathy comes through listening. So here at DPS we like to say, okay, as long as it is you who's talking, you don't hear anything new. So let other people talk and listen, and ask questions in the right moment, and to find out what's important to other people, and draw your conclusions from there. And that's a skill you can practice. You can do it at every party. You can have a chat and try to find out, okay, what's the guy's or girl's motivation in life, or whatever, what's important to them at the moment. And then the more conversations you have in life, basically, your inventory gets filled up that enables you to have empathy with other people. So soon you will develop a feeling that people might not share the same interests as you, that there are other things that are more important to them. And this is important to keep in mind, because as a product manager, you are the one who thinks about your product 40 hours a week or 24/7. I don't know. But most of your users don't. They have more important things in life to do, and they don't get up in the morning and think about your product like you do. So, and the more you are aware of this, the better. And this, the more you talk to people and the more you listen, the easier it gets to show empathy.
All right. I think empathy is really very important, and the way you pointed out, like, the experience, or whether experience is required for a product manager or not. It's like, it's the practice to follow empathy. And I think no books can taught you that better than the situation, or the, when you are live to live, and when there are people and their situations occurs, and how you handle that. Maybe that thing are a better teacher
Yes,
to you as a product manager, maybe.
exactly. You don't get experience from books. Yeah. So at DPS you learn self-confidence rather than shelf-confidence. You get off the bookshelves. And that's exactly why we introduced DPS as a program, to enable people to experience what it is like, what it's like to develop products.
Yeah. So apart from, we are talking about DPS and the tracks or the structure of the program, we can also share what are the more, what do we get in DPS? Like, it's a 3 months sprint. We work on some practical problem statements provided by companies or as a wild team. What else do we get in DPS? Or what else are the opportunities or scope of opportunities one who applies or be a part of digital product school can get or can attain?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, the music is playing for the audience now. Yeah, you mean besides working on the actual product, what you get?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're 1.5 months into the program. Tell me what do you think? What did you get so far from DPS?
So apart from the product, the team experience or the knowledge or the challenging, every day is challenging as a product manager over here. You overestimate yourself that you are good, but you get challenged every day. That is the best part, and you realize like you need to learn more, you need to understand more, you need to develop more empathy, and that is how it develops. And apart from that, like DPS as a program is quite valuable because of the support it provides. At least I would say stipend is quite helpful. Like, 50 euros for 3 months is quite good enough to sustain in Munich.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have a lot of parties and all hands that happens. So that is the fun that we have, and you kind of work in the one of the tallest buildings in Munich. So all that on, but everything beyond is like getting good experiences to work with some of the best people, be it your colleagues, be it in the people in the team and the core team, of course. So we can take another questions, of course. And Srijan asked, hi Harshit, thanks for organizing this AMA. How do you actually filter out candidates? This is for you. How do you actually filter out candidates for the position of product manager? For example, someone who has been studying computer science, final year undergrad, and may not really have experience with product management, but interested in getting into it. What do you suggest him or her to do?
So, especially for the PM track, right? So,
yeah.
What are the criteria? So, as I mentioned earlier, so the main thing I look at is passion for products, and that you can sometimes read off a certain CV,
yeah.
But often you don't see it through the CV. So I tend to have loads of interviews because that's something you can only find out during a personal interview with people. Whether there's a certain passion for creating products and developing products. And so the answer is yes. If you are a computer scientist and you want to get into product management, apply. I don't have any hard criteria. I mean, at the moment, the cover letter is optional, and people who are not providing a cover letter in their application, I tend to think that they might not be as motivated as people who provide a cover letter. So that might bias me towards a certain thing, but I have a look at every CV. And we get hundreds of applications for each batch for the PM track. So that's a lot of work. And so at the moment, batch 6 is closed now. And at the moment, I'm screening all the applications. And whoever applied for batch 6 should hear from us soon.
Mm-hmm. I think, oh yeah. And so I got confused.
You got confused by me or
by the people. But
more and more people are writing for the all hands, maybe you can see.
yeah. So this is our all hands.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Harshit and I are not part of it today because of you guys.
That's okay, because you guys could be a part of the next all hands.
Yes.
Right?
Not the next all hands, but the next batch.
Next batch all hands.
So the all hands is every week here.
So Swati, I think she asked, do you guys or girls provide diversity scholarship?
What do you mean by diversity scholarship? You mean an additional fee on top of it for women? Or?
Yeah, I am not sure, but I think diversity, she means like women in tech or something like those scholarship grades of.
Oh, equality is here. So everybody gets a scholarship, no matter what background.
Mm-hmm. So Anukriti from India asked, like, is it like DPS only takes people from the partner companies for the PM track?
That's actually a good question. So no, it's not like this. So as you mentioned earlier, we have the so-called company teams and the wild teams.
Yeah.
The company teams are teams where talents and people from the companies work together on a project, and the wild teams consist of talent only. So no company people there. And of course, the PMs and the wild teams are not provided by the companies. For the company teams, of course, the companies are more likely to send PMs for the team rather than maybe a software engineer or an interaction designer or an AI engineer. So it's a total exception that we hire a talent to be PM in the company team. But it happened. So it happened that the company team only had a software engineer and we had to fill it up with all the other roles. But it's very seldom. That's another thing what makes it hard to get into the PM track, because usually we only need PMs for the VLTs. And that makes an average 2 PMs per batch.
2 PMs per batch.
Yes.
That's very competitive, right?
Yeah. We tend to hire 3 to 4 to have a backup, because not everybody makes it, or it happened that people got ill and stuff like this and have to drop out of the program. And can also be learning managing a team with 2 PMs. But yeah, so the ratio, the applications to accepted talents is, in the PM track, it's the worst, because we only have a few spots to be filled.
So Punit asked, like, is there any opportunity to work as permanent or contract-based employee? Because I don't have freedom to leave job and work as intern. However, I'm really interested to build interdisciplinary profile and like the work you guys are doing.
I mean, from time to time, there's a job in the core team. Mm-hmm. So if you come across an application ad, feel free to apply. But you can't be part of the DPS program as a talent as long as you have a job. So we receive public funding from the state of Bavaria, and we are not allowed to use this to educate employees of companies.
All right.
So only the partner companies who are sending their employees, they pay for them. Mm-hmm. But we are not allowed to spend the scholarship for the talents of people who have a job. So that's a really hard requirement, that you don't have to have a job when you are part of DPS.
So the answer is no, right? You have to leave your job to join DPS.
I think he was asking whether he could work here permanently, so he would have to quit his job anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but if he wants to be a talent, then he needs to quit his job.
Sure. So Soumya, she asked, like, she has 2 questions. One is like, what makes an application stand out? because she is a software engineer. Maybe she's asking in terms of context of software engineering. But for you, what applicants stand out? Like, what is one of the, there has been 5 batches until now. What is some of the best CV or best applications you have seen? What makes them stand out?
That's so regarding the software engineering track. That's a question Mickey, as our head of software engineering, is able to answer. I can't answer for him. I don't know his criteria. I know that being able to code is one of them. So yeah, I don't know. I know it's not the number of or the amount of different programming languages. That's not the criteria. So the second one was what's the acceptance percentage? I don't know for the other tracks. For the PM track.
Have you calculated the percentage?
1 or 2%.
1 or 2%.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Depends on how many PMs we need and we apply.
So how many apply? Like how much applications you get for the PM role or for the PM in the batch?
Totally different. I think last batch was almost 300.
300.
Yes.
And like, could we tell the demographic of like the people from all over the, like, what's the demographic of DPS right now? Like demographic as in from countries or age-wise diversity?
From all over the world.
Yeah.
Age-wise, it's all ages. So we have people who just finished their masters or are about to finish their masters or their bachelors even. And on the other hand, we had people in their late 30s who want to career shift and try to gain first experience in the field of product management. So totally varies.
Mm-hmm. So, and I think one of the answer you missed, right? What is one thing that stand out for you for a product manager?
Okay. Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, a cover letter is a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really stand out if your CV shows that you already tried some product development or some had a student project that tried to launch a startup. Doesn't really matter whether it was successful or failed, but just something that shows that you try to build something. Well, I don't think my CV shows that, by the way. I happen to work for companies all the time which launched products, so I didn't do it myself yet. But yeah, that would make you stand out.
Yeah, but I think like you have your own design agency, or you did a lot of freelancing, or
yeah, but that's more a consultancy, not design, but product development.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but that's for other clients. It's not that I had a private startup or something like this.
Yeah,
I always launched products as an employee for an employer.
Mm-hmm. So I think like Vishwa from the last batch, I think a lot of people from the last batches have joined. Vishwa, Harshita, and
Hello, Harshita.
Vishwanath.
Yeah.
So hi guys, thanks for joining. And so we have more questions. What is the criteria of selection for the AI engineer, and what is the acceptance percentage?
I don't know.
I
have no clue. So you have to understand that every track head is responsible for the recruitment themselves. So of course we have the odd talk about, okay, how many have you recruited and are you sorted for the upcoming batch and stuff like this, but we don't go too much into detail. We have an overall report that shows, okay, what's the distribution gender-wise and stuff like this, which is, by the way, almost 50%. Not intentionally, it just happened. So we did really unconsciously a good job of that. But yeah, I can't really tell. I don't know about the acceptance criteria for AI guys. Neither I know about the acceptance share. But I don't think it would be any helpful to you guys. If you feel that might be something for you guys, then let's just apply. Don't. I mean, if you knew the numbers, they would scare you off. So, but I mean, it's lots of people make it here, and why shouldn't you? Just apply, and you'll see. And another hint: if you get a rejection letter, ask why.
Yeah.
You might get the odd advice on what you need to improve or what made the others better than you for this in this particular case.
Yeah, I think that's like one of the good advices is like always follow up, right?
Yeah.
Means even if you get a rejection is like the best.
Yeah.
Ask like why you get a rejection and what are the areas that you could improve, so that the next time like DPS is not like a one-time thing. You can apply again and again for every batches. And if you see you are the same person even after every rejection, maybe you're not working.
Yeah.
But if you feel that you have worked enough to build up your profile, you would definitely get in some point of time. So always increment yourself in terms of skills, experiences, and stuff that improve yourself. So Debanjana also joined in, and she asked, thank you for your time. Thanks to you as well. I was wondering if you both could tell us about a book or / documentary / etc. that changed the way you think. What is one of those books, Stephen, that changed the way you
changed the way I think?
Yeah.
I think Rework by Jason Fried is a really good book. So it sort of captures the spirit of, okay, work with whatever you have and make the best out of it. So I highly recommend reading this. And I really need to read the new edition of it because I read it years ago, almost 15 years ago, I think. So yeah, maybe shall I type it in here so that everybody can see? Okay. Work. So that's the guy who founded Signal, the company behind Basecamp.
Yeah.
And it's a really good book and loads of inspiration.
Yeah.
So what about you?
What about me? So I don't know if it changed my thought process or not, but one of the books I really like, and I think it could be a great book for developing empathy. Maybe I should practice it more. It's like a very classical book by Dale Carnegie called How to Win Friends and Influence People. Don't go by the title, but it's really very, very effective. It says very simple things, and that are or could be very helpful when you utilize it in daily practices. So that would be a great book to keep adopted in your life. And one of the documentary that is very inspiring for me, at least I would say, since I'm involved in the process of democratization or digitization of opportunities for all. Like I really believe, like the documentary is called The Pirate Bay Away from the Keyboard. And it's the story of the Pirate Bay people, the three co-founders, and what was the whole three, the code hearings, and what were they saying, what were they going through. So it is one of the very good documentary to see. And one of the quotes I really like, Peter Sunday, who was one of the co-founder of the Pirate Bay. He says that I went to jail for my cause. What did you do? So So if you have to be that passionate for your cause, for your things you are starting, because that are the one of the things why you started. And if you are very clear why you started, no of the things could stop you. Means I think startup or any of the things has a lot of uncertainties. It is not the question of the agendas or the milestones, it's the question of keep going. So maybe these are the documentaries that help you to be on the way to keep inspirational and these are the people who keep you motivated to further ahead. I think there are more questions, and we have still like 10 minutes, 12 minutes to go through. So we can answer them. Thanks for the AMA. I love the point you put forward regarding having empathy, being critical in PM. What are the qualities you like the most about being a product manager, and how can we get more experience in the field? I have some experience in PM during my summer, but I don't think it might be enough for DPS. From what I hear, I would love to be a part of it. Thanks again. So this was a question from Vipul. So he said,
the first part was what are the qualities you like most about being a product manager? One of the coolest things about being, not particularly being a product manager, but to know about stuff like lean startup methods and validation experiments and stuff like this, is that you can basically test everything, any idea you have. It gives you total freedom to do whatever you want, because you are constantly challenged thinking about, okay, how can I find out whether this could work in a lean way without investing too much money? And if you develop that mindset, gives you total freedom to do anything you want. And it gives you total freedom to try out things, whether it doesn't have to be the big startup idea. You can, so you maybe, I don't know, you have an issue with a colleague and you have a hypothesis what might cause that issue. Think up an experiment and find out whether this is true or not. So I think this is, this gives you superpowers as a PM, to know about these methods and to apply those methods in your daily life.
Yeah, I agree with that, I think.
Yeah, and what was the second part of the question?
So he says that he has some experience in PM or product management during his summer.
Okay, good question. So yeah, go for it. You too.
Yeah, I think the best way to validate is just apply and see if you are accepted or rejected. And
yes, so if your hypothesis is you are good for DPS, run an experiment and apply.
I would just go through if there are more questions. Any emphasis on Akash? Akash asked, any emphasis on blockchain-based modules?
Nope, no emphasis. I mean, good question, by the way. So what the main thing we try to bring across here is that you don't build a solution just for the sake of the solution. So first is user research and finding out, okay, what are the real world problems that are worth being tackled there, and then thinking about solution. And if a blockchain is a cool solution to solve this problem, then yeah, cool, then the team goes for that solution. Yeah. If it isn't, then no blockchain.
So it's not about the tech, it's not about the tools that you're using, the languages you learn. It's about what is the problem that you are solving for and how much impacting it is.
Yes, and if you can solve the problem with a Sharpie pen, then that's the best solution.
Yeah, but if someone from Flow, from anywhere, applies to you as a product manager, as a software engineer, as a AI interaction designer, and they solve some of the good problems using Post-it, paper prototypes, Sharpie pen, would you consider them quite stand out, or will it be something impressive for you?
Yeah, sure. I mean, if you want to be better in dealing with blockchain solutions, don't apply, because there's no guarantee that you will work with blockchain here. So at DPS, it's all about handling the problem space, finding out pain points, validating pain points, coming up with ideas, validating those ideas, and building them. And you might end up with a blockchain or a chatbot or AI or big data or whatever is out there, but there's no guarantee you will.
Yeah, I think I remember one of the chats I was having with Mickey. So he said that, means there could be wrong expectation that this is a digital progress school and there are tracks. It's not about learning the programming languages or just like coming across the more of the things to try out. It's like we are identifying some problems and how to solve that problem using those tech is important rather than just learning any language for the sake of language for building up the portfolio. I think that's not very important over here, especially digital progress school. It seems like a 3 months program. It could be long, but it's really very, very short in terms of when you talk with people, when you go through the whole lean process, agile process, and every process, like I think most of the 80% of the time is focuses upon talking to our users, being with our users, and identifying their pain points so that we could develop something that they want, not what we want, right? So I think it's more about why you are doing this rather than what you're using to do that. So James has another question. He says that I have done my bachelor's in commerce and have one product design internship, and he has his portfolio ready. Can he apply as an interaction designer internship?
Internship. So you don't want to be part of the interaction design track.
So I think like
maybe you can just reply.
Maybe maybe people don't have the clarity whether what is digital progress school. Is it an internship? Is it a boot camp? Is it a sprint? How would you define digital progress school in one sentence? What do people understand it?
Yeah, you work in a startup, in a small startup consisting of 6 employees for 3 months. I think that describes it best.
So this is a potential startup for people, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is what we're trying to do here. We try to mimic an environment that startups would use to work. Like same tools, same methods, low budget for prototyping, stuff like this. So, and if you want to get experience in this, then apply. I understood that he's James. Maybe you can clarify. You mean an internship outside of the interaction design track, or did you mean being part of the interaction design track for 3 months? So if it's the latter, I would say, yeah, go for it, apply.
And I think you guys and girls have any questions related to any part of this conversation or beyond that, feel free to write on this comment, and maybe me and Steffen would try our best to answer that on this thread so that we have all your doubts cleared. And I think so Steffen, it's thank you for joining us. It was great to have you. And I think all the flowers really enjoyed the conversation as well as all their doubts kind of got cleared. Hopefully I believe so.
Hope it helped, and hope we get lots of interesting applications.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to read through your applications. So don't not apply.
Yeah. So one more thing to add on this, the people I see in flow, or the people I've seen across in my overall journey, I've seen a lot of hardworking people, and the thing is the first thing, they don't know about the opportunities they exist. People are passionate, people want to do things. So what would be your advice for the people who are very motivated, for the people who are passionate to do stuff, and even if they get rejected, what would be your point of advice to just keep moving?
Keep moving. That's it. That's the advice.
But that's my advice.
No, yes. I mean, when you apply for the PM track, chances are that you get rejected because it's just so many applications. But that shouldn't bring you down, and keep doing whatever you are doing, and keep talking to people, keep listening, try to build up empathy. try to launch a product, an app, a website, or whatever, fail doing this, put it into your CV and apply again.
Yeah, I think that's
so show that you're passionate about it.
Mm-hmm. I think that was a good advice.
Okay.
So thanks a lot, Stephen, for your time. Really appreciate it, and hopefully we people get a value and apply for all the roles that you feel that you could best contribute, and whatever questions you have, we can help you with that. Being part of the interaction design. So James answered being part of the interaction design track.
Okay.
And Alish asked, can someone apply multiple tracks?
Yes, you can, but it will actually lower your chances, because applying for multiple tracks shows that you are not. I'm not only talking about the PM track here. Applying for multiple tracks shows that you are not that passionate about being a PM.
Mm-hmm. But most of the PM are kind of multi-talented, like you are. Like, you have done work in UX, you have done. And so what if like people are not very sure about what they contribute best in?
They should reflect upon what role they want to gain collaboration experience in. So if you want to become an interaction designer, don't apply, because you won't learn at DPS how to become an interaction designer. You need to be one.
Yeah.
To be part of this. You need to decide. Okay, I want to work in a cross-functional team. What should be my core skill within that team? And if you want to become a PM, then apply for a PM only. Yeah. If I see that you applied as a software engineer and an interaction designer as well, chances are that I prefer the people who know for sure that they want to be in PM.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that.
Yeah, so I think like also we do get a lot of applications for the AI track, and one making that even if you are interested in AI and don't have much experience in the AI background or don't have AI background, like it's not necessary that you just apply for the AI track. Or maybe if you apply for the software engineering, data engineering is one of the domains that you can build up your career further ahead in if you are in the software engineering track. So if you have lots of experience in the software engineering track, it's better to apply for the software engineering track rather than the AI track. AI is the hot stuff that's going, but the hot stuff is not for I would say it's better for you what's for you. What do you think?
No matter what track you apply for, make sure that it in your cover letter it comes across that you are passionate about working in a cross-functional team. So don't expect and don't write in there that you are hoping to gain more theoretical knowledge. Mm-hmm. That's not what DPS is about. DPS is about gaining experience in working with other disciplines, building as a team a product. And so that you should bring across in your cover letter, and that will raise your chances. If you write, I want to be a better AI engineer, without saying by working with other roles and developing a product, but just by creating awesome models or whatever, then DPS is not the right place for you.
Yeah.
So here it's all about collaboration. So 1 more minute.
Yeah, 1 more minute if you have last questions. I think it was maybe like 1 more minute to wrap up, and we are done. But thank you, Stephen. I think this was some amazing set of questions, and
it was fun.
Yeah, it was really fun, and it was my first experience as well to come across the community. So I really enjoyed it.
Leave a comment. How did you like the job? How she did on this?
Yeah.
And, I can offer to have a look at the comments. Maybe some more questions arise after that, and we'll be happy to answer them in the comments.
For sure, we will answer all the questions that come up, and keep working hard, guys and girls, and I think like DPS is one of the opportunity. There are lots of opportunity, and don't get stopped by brick walls or rejections. They are just meant to be, make you more work hard for them.
Keep applying.
Keep applying and keep getting selected. Thank you all. Enjoy.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.